Welcome to the podcast. My name's Rufus. I am Rocky Top Picker's moonshining cousin. Want to welcome you today to the show. The fellers that I got in here with me this afternoon is Elvis Butt, Beard Cake Picker, and some much cooler and fatter than Kevin. Welcome, gentlemen, to the show.
What's
up? Welcome, sir. How are you?
I'm doing fine.
What's up, guys? My name is Ben, Rocky Top Picker, and welcome to the Reseller Locker Room Podcast. Today is our Halloween edition of the show, and I had to get out of my costume because I couldn't stand being in it longer than what I already was. And then we have
beard.
Hey, hang with the beard, brother. We have AKA Biscuit Butt, but today it's Elvis Butt. Down below, the Beard King Picker is donning his crown, ladies and gentlemen, and the special guest who has been bitching and moaning for weeks about wanting to get into the locker room, Shane, AKA Soda City Flips, the much cooler and fatter Kevin. Welcome, fellas.
What's up, y'all? What's up?
How's it going?
What's up, Shay? Thank you for having me. It's about time.
Yeah.
What's up, Rocky
buddy?
Soda Flips?
It's only been a couple months since you made that video.
Yeah, how'd I pull it off? My wife said I should have dyed my beard and shaved, but I wasn't doing all that.
I don't know. To me, the hair looks like a Karen to me.
Could be.
What about your hair? You got a one alfalfa Elvis over there.
You like my Elvis alfalfa look?
Yeah, dude, that's classic.
Are you going to show everyone what you showed us backstage, or is that just for us?
Oh no, he needs to stand up and show off his Elvis jumpsuit.
Nope. I
keep that to himself.
We'll have to make a little blurry thing on the edit.
that'll be on my OnlyFans, so they can actually pay to see what.
Yeah. That's only pay per view there, fellas. When we get to see the full length body of Archie.
And boy, is it a view!
You get to see the biscuits, huh?
Yeah, but Shane, dude, I'm flattered that you chose that costume, my friend. If the hair was a little bit longer, man, you'd have it nailed, son.
Yeah, and it came down to like here, and I asked my stepdaughter, London, I was like, hey, can you cut this? And this is what she did. While it was on me, I said, shoulder length, this is what I got. So
yeah, that's awesome.
I love you.
That's awesome.
You should have gone with your other stepdaughter, Berlin. Maybe she would have got it right.
Well, at least you're wearing the right colors, my friend, even though you are in South Carolina.
Yeah, it's killing me right now to be wearing orange, period.
Yeah, that's all right, dude. It'll grow on you.
This orange ain't as bad as them Clemson Tigers, but.
Oh, that's a fact. Holy crap. They're like 4-4 now, I think, aren't they? I believe that's what the record is.
Sounds about right.
Well, like I said, everybody, this is our Halloween edition, and I know by the time that you, the viewers, see this, it's going to be a couple of days removed from Halloween. But with our schedules, this is when we could do our Halloween show. So we hope you enjoy the post-Halloween Reseller Locker Room podcast. As I said at the top of the show, we've got Shane, Soda City Flips, has his own YouTube channel. By the way, if you've not heard of him, go over to the YouTube right now, put this on pause. Go over and sub to his channel, then come back to hear what kind of ridiculousness is going to be going down right here in the locker room. But I want to get started real quick, Shane, because I've been wanting to get with you for a while. You know, I tried to have you on Rocky Top Live. My computer took a major dump on me. I had to go spend $700 on a new one. Crazy nightmare. Hey, that happens. So I wanted to ask you, and, you know, I don't know how many podcasts you've been on thus far other than Romans that I saw you on.
Yeah, this is it. Other than Roman's live show, this is it.
All right. I want you to tell the viewers a little bit about your background, you know, where you originally from, what do you do for a living, what turned you on to reselling, and why you're doing that. And I know that's a lot of questions, but go ahead.
Yeah, I had to take that off. I was starting to get itchy. So I am originally from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, but I live over in the Lexington, South Carolina area now, which Archie already knows. But there's a couple of other big name YouTube resellers in my area. The biggest one being Harry Tornado. Um, but oddly enough, I had no idea who he was for a while after I started reselling. But I am an avid book reader, and I discovered Whatnot just from a Google search. I was looking for an online place to buy books, and I found Whatnot, signed up, and started buying books. And I was having so much fun on there that I decided I wanted to try my hand at selling books. So, long story short, I sold my personal Nikon Z50 camera for just under $1,000. Bought a ton of books just to build up an inventory so I could get accepted onto Whatnot. And that was the beginning, man. I started selling books, had a lot of fun doing it, and was just curious what other kind of things could be resold. So I started researching on YouTube, and that's when I just started discovering all these other YouTubers and things like that, and decided, hey, this is what I want to do part-time, and I'm having a blast. Full-time, though, I've been building cell phone towers for 25 years. I started when I was 18. I'll be 44 next week. But I just recently, I say recently, is back in May, I transferred to a new division. So I'm no longer climbing cell phone towers. I'm working on the ground in managing a underground fiber build for Verizon in Columbia, South Carolina.
Wow. So
Yeah.
your
What
first,
about?
go ahead, Archie.
Oh, I was going to say, what about your other hobby that you have? Don't you like playing with like slippery little long things? I think they're called snakes.
Yeah, I do that. So I am one of the local snake experts in the Columbia area, and I do free snake relocations. And if you're a subscriber to my channel, you probably already know that because there's quite a few videos of me catching snakes and relocating snakes and stuff like that.
Shoot,
That's an
far.
awesome hobby.
So your
That's
first
awesome.
exposure to reselling
Mhm.
was on the Whatnot platform. Is that right?
Yes. Now, and like I've been going to flea markets and yard sales my whole life. That's something my mom did with my sister and I when we were kids. But I never knew you could get those things and flip them and make money off of them. It never crossed my mind. So I thought that was pretty awesome.
Okay.
How is that going on Whatnot for just strictly books on Whatnot? You grow a pretty big following over there?
Yeah, so that's the struggle for most people and whatnot. And I
Yeah.
know most people who are watching this show already know, like Josh and Dave and Kevin, all those guys that have big followings over there. They have it because of their YouTube channels.
I have a big
If
following in my
if
head.
if you do not have a social
As a
media following,
transfer.
it's hard to grow on Whatnot, but you can do it. Books specifically is a very niche category on Whatnot, so it's easy to grow a following there.
Okay.
But the problem with that is when I do another type of show, like if I sell plush on there, the majority of my followers are all book buyers. They're not there to buy plush. So my plush shows do horrible. But by going into other people's shows, like go jump in Harry Tornado show or Commonwealth Picker show and just be active in the chat, and you'll pick up followers
Yeah.
just from talking to people. So I've slowly I think I'm up to around 600 followers on Whatnot now. So my
Oh,
shows are
nice.
starting to do a little bit better. Books, if you get them cheap enough, you're going to make money over there. I'd say the average cost of a paperback, or the average sale for a paperback over there is going to be about $4 to $5. And then hardback books you can usually get between 6 to 12. And then of course first editions and things like that, you'll be able to get more. But eBay's definitely a better place to sell if you want a good price for your books over there.
Yeah. Are you starting them all at $1, or are you starting them a little bit higher to make sure you
No,
get that $5?
I start every book. I think I start at $3 for paperback and $5 for hardback because I can't afford to sell books for $1.
Yeah,
It doesn't
for
work for
sure.
me. I don't have the following that's required to be able to start items at $1. If I
Yeah.
start at $1, it'll sell it for $2.
Okay. So I imagine there's a lot of people that's asked this question, and if it's not been asked of you, Shane, I'm surprised. But I have to ask you. You know, you've made it known. You know, you have a 6-figure a year job, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why would you want to do anything on the side when you have that kind of
Eventually,
income?
so the ultimate goal here is to work for myself. Like, I love my job. I've been with this company for over 7 years now, and they're very, very good to me. But ultimately, I want to work for myself, and I don't know enough about anything outside of building cell phone towers to open my own business doing anything else. So this hobby hopefully becomes my full-time income at some point, whether it's just reselling or a combination of reselling and YouTube. This
Yeah.
is what I want to do.
So it's
Now-
it's the desire of entrepreneurship.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's fantastic.
Now,
Yeah.
what's that threshold look like to you, though, as far as the transition from full time
Oh,
6-figure
man.
job to? I mean, do you have something in mind in your head of once I get to this point? Actually, I
Not
should say,
really.
does your wife have something in mind that she wants you? Because
That's
the realism,
real
the
question.
realism, it's her decision too.
Right. No, absolutely. And I think I could speak very confidently when I say this, that she would probably quit her job first if I was making enough money.
Oh yeah, yeah.
But she doesn't make half of what I make a year. So she's got a good job and she loves the company she works for too. But I work for a multi-billion-dollar Fortune 500 company, and she works for a mom and pop company in South Carolina. South Carolina is not the best state to live in if you want to make a lot of money. So she does good for someone in her position in this state, but she doesn't make enough money to like I'm going to have to be doing really well in reselling and or YouTube in order to quit. But hopefully she can leave her job long before I can.
Is this mom and pop place that she works for? Is it the Tornado Sweatshop by chance?
No, she's actually she actually works for a electrical contractor, electrical and security contractor. She's like
Sorry, Josh.
a
Sorry, man.
office admin position.
Gotcha.
Oh, I just got a sale.
No, that was me.
Oh,
You're
well,
hearing my
I just
phone
had
bang.
one.
But I'm
3
glad you
minutes
got
ago.
excited for me. Oh,
Yeah, man, I get fired up for all of you. Look at that daggone cowlick on top of Archie's head.
I know that thing's amazing.
Well,
kind of looks like a turd.
I see this a lot. Now, I don't know if you guys are in a lot of the chat threads on eBay, like eBay thrifters helping other eBayers and all that kind of stuff. And I see crazy stuff that gets asked in that thing. But
Mhm.
a question's always asked, and I've even been asked this on my channel. What does it take to become full time? Well, golly, that's a loaded question because there's a lot that goes into that. How much money you got in savings? Do you have a lot of debt? I mean, there's a lot of factors you have to consider. Typically my background coming from finance is that on any given day, the common individual who's working a job should have at least 6 months to a year's worth of salary put back into savings because life happens and anything can happen at any minute. But there's to me, there's just always a huge threshold when you're crossing over. At our very first episode here in the locker room, we talked about our backgrounds, and my threshold was a lot easier than for most people. I've technically been self-employed since 2008, and I was kind of forced into it. So the goal of entrepreneurship, I think, is an awesome goal for everybody to have. One thing, there's many drawbacks to working for yourself. I mean, you have to hold yourself accountable, and you've got to be able to take care of business and learn not to procrastinate. And so, but
Where are
hey,
you pointing?
Right.
but anyway, yeah,
Yeah.
man, it's a fun business. how's your sales been lately, Shane? How's that been going?
Oh my gosh. So I was doing really well the past couple of months, and I decided to do a little experiment because of the whole end listings and sell similar debate going on. I decided to do a little experiment, and I wish I would have like made a video about this. My sales, I've now granted I haven't listed anything new in a week. I've only ended and sold similar every single day this week, uh, between 10 to 20 items a day. And I've got 4 sales this week total. So I've had very good experiences ending and selling similar in the past, but I've never stopped listing while I was doing it. So
Yeah.
obviously you got to continue listing. That was just something I wanted to try. Matter of fact, today I'm back to listing as usual, because that for a week ain't gonna work for me.
Yeah.
What
Yeah,
is your listing goal per day with a full-time job? I mean, how many do you actually get listed
With a
when you get
full-time
home?
job for me, I try to, on the way home from work, I have one Goodwill on the way home. But there's actually 3 Goodwills and 2 or 3 small mom and pop stores all around my office. So I can hit 1 or 2 of them after work and then get home, and I try to get at least 5 listed every day. That's
Okay.
my goal. If I do any more than that, I'm super happy.
Okay.
I think that's good for part-time. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's great.
Here's my question, Shane. Have you ever used the draft method?
I do, but I don't usually have enough time in my day to list. I guess I could if I stuck to 5 and then anything over the 5, just keep them in the
Slowly
draft
build it
bank.
up.
But
Yeah.
I don't. I guess I never think about doing that. Some days when I do list 15 or 20 items, I'll throw 15, 10 of them in the draft bank. But I haven't done it like I know like J Rod Flips has like 250 items in his draft bank, and I know he's full time, but I just can't even fathom having that many items.
Well, in my mind, with you being full-time job,
Hmm.
family, kids, life situations come up all the time. It looks to me that you building your draft bank would be more advantageous than somebody that's a full-time reseller like myself, because your time is more limited. So if you took a Saturday, okay, and listed 35 items in a
Hmm.
draft in your drafts, schedule 5 to drop every day for 7 days. That kind of takes the pressure off. Like if you come home one day and you're just flat 3 sheets to the wind and can't get in front of a computer to do it, you've got your scheduled listings dropping for you automatically. You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah,
Then the
no,
problem is on
that's
the
a good
weekend,
point.
he's
That's
too
a
busy
great
catching
point.
snakes.
Well, that's true. You're
Yeah.
a snake wrangler, right?
That and that's coming to an end right now. It's starting to get a little cold. It's October in
Yeah.
the South, so copperheads are still active and hognose snakes are active. So they're still around, but it's going to be hard to find any snakes here soon.
Holy crap, man. That's scary.
Yeah, my snakes are active 24/7. I'm in Vegas.
Yeah.
Snakes all around.
So hold on. Let's get back to the whole
Scorpions.
draft bank thing.
There's a lot of snakes in Vegas.
So let me ask you this, Shane. How long does it take you to list 5 items?
Obviously, it depends on the items, but I generally list, like right now I have, what did I pick up today? I
5
got a
China
couple of golf
sets.
clubs and some shoes, and I'd say to list those 5 items and get good photos, I would imagine 20 minutes to 30 minutes. I've already cleaned everything.
That's bang.
See, I don't think personally as a hobby reseller, you should change anything. I don't think you need to get a draft bank going. I'll still always argue that you can't sell what's not listed, and it's not taking away from your life. Now, J Ride Flips, let's use him as an example. Reselling isn't his primary job. He also does social media. He also does YouTube. It makes sense that he may want to take 2 or 3 days out of a week. So he wants to build a bank up. so that he can drop throughout the week. I just think
Right.
as a hobby, I'll always have the. Here's the thing. I think for Ben, it's perfect the way he does his draft bank. I'll
Yeah.
never argue that with him, because he likes to take 2 days out of the week, list 100 items, which I don't think I could even get half of that in 2 days, but it works for him. I just don't think personally as a hobbyist, you should change the way you do it, especially if it's only taking you 20, 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is no right or wrong way here. You
No,
know, we've said that.
You're right.
Yeah.
So Elvis, but are you saying you didn't do the homework from last week's episode?
No, but I spoke with the principal, and we came up with a new plan.
New plan.
We're going to start next week because I'm still trying to recover from being sick and whatnot. So
Yeah. Bless
I've got
heart. We
more
love
excuses.
him. We love it. We love the little butt.
But I'm going
Okay.
to.
I'm just going to
promise.
say okay.
And for those that want to donate any money to the locker room, we're going to be setting up a Vimo account. And actually, we can put it in effect immediately. So at the end of the show, stay to the end of the show because Archie's going to get up and do a little body flashing in his Elvis suit. And then you can kindly donate some money to get him a bigger
Only
Elvis
$1.
suit.
Digital ones.
Just remember one thing.
Right in.
I edit these videos, so odds are me dancing is not going to make it.
Yeah,
It's going to be
yeah.
left on the floor.
He's going to cut
Editing
that
floor.
mother out, boy.
Get that
Hey,
lamp behind
God
you.
dang.
All right,
You like those white biscuits though? When I was walking away, huh?
Yeah, dude.
Man. Burnt in
Yes.
in my mind, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Shane, what's the story behind the name? Soda City Flips. Is
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
curious what that is.
All right, so it's kind of weird, I guess. So I live right outside of Columbia, South Carolina. Columbia's abbreviation is COLA, cola. So years ago, somebody probably drinking decided to call Columbia Soda City, and it's just stuck. And
I didn't know that.
yeah, so it has absolutely nothing to do with soda, other than the abbreviation spells cola. But I chose. So my handle used to be Professor Truth on all social media that required a handle. I was
Okay.
Professor Truth, and that came from like a 2004 radio station pimp name generator.
Sorry, we just got a shot of biscuit spot.
He realized what was about to
know.
happen, so he turned around and
scared
sat
me.
back down.
Did you see that tater stuffed in a sock?
Don't worry, that's going to go to a single shot of Shane speaking. So
Dude, that's a thumbnail right there.
I was trying to take
Elvis passed out back there. He's over there picking him up, and he got
I
up
know, I
out of
have
his
to-
chair.
CPR.
We got that big high butt crack that shined through, man. That's splendid.
Sorry, Shane. Carry on.
Sorry.
But
No, you're good.
Soda City, you know, I vacation quite a bit in Myrtle Beach, as do most people that live in the area I live in. Yeah, it's crazy. We've talked about this before, Shane, on the show, how
Mhm.
people who live at the beach come to the mountains for vacation where I'm at. And that's
Yep.
mountain folk. We just trade places.
Mhm.
So I've been through Columbia a lot, you know, and I never
yeah.
knew that history about it. But here's another question for you. Why did you leave Myrtle Beach? I mean, obviously that Columbia's not too far back up the road, but what was the reason for leaving the Myrtle Beach community?
I was a kid then, so we moved. Most of my family's from this area, but my
Okay.
mom and her sister Debbie had moved to Myrtle Beach when they were young, you know, adults. And my sister and I were both born in my sister wasn't born in Myrtle Beach, so it was just me. So we moved when I was a really young kid. We moved here back to the Lexington area, which is where most of my family's from. So, and like you, I go to Myrtle Beach quite a bit because my wife she likes her sun and sand. I'd much prefer the mountains myself, but we spend a lot of time on Myrtle Beach every year.
Now, how about this? You know, you live in the same area as Josh, Harry Tornado.
Yep.
Does he really have a house that he's working on that he's going to rent out, or is all that just staged for his channel?
I don't know. I don't know the area the house is in, but I can promise you that there are a lot of houses that look like that in Columbia.
Yeah.
And
I know.
I'm pretty
I know.
sure he
I know
said,
he's got a real house, but I didn't know if you've ever been over there where it is to see it.
I mean,
no,
what do
I
you think he's
haven't.
doing? You think somebody's hiring him as a contractor or what?
Yeah, I think he's
Or
doing contracting work on the side.
And he's subbing out to whatever his that kid that does all his work. I can't think of his name.
Yeah,
But,
that's what's going on over there, man. Something shady.
but I do know this, and hopefully Josh doesn't get mad that I say this, but we were talking, we were playing golf a couple weeks ago, and he was talking about his warehouse that he has at his house that he lives at, and he was saying that the cost of renting a warehouse was going to be $3,500 a month. So he just bought the house that came with the warehouse, and his house payment is what the warehouse was going to cost him to rent. So basically, he bought a warehouse and got a free house.
That's a
Wow.
good deal.
That's how he and Haley are looking at it. But with that amount per mortgage, I could only imagine what the actual house cost. In South Carolina, $3,500 is absolutely ridiculous. So,
yeah,
like I rent where I live, my rent is $825 a month. So it's
Well,
Ouch.
you need to
South
rent that.
Carolina's a pretty cheap place.
You need to
I need
rent
to
that
move.
house. You need to rent that house from Josh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
now Shane,
He probably
do you have a
wants more than I got now.
do you have a shed or do you do everything out of your house?
So I have two sheds. I have two. They're small, 10 by 16.
Okay.
I do woodworking on the side also. I don't as much now that I've started reselling on YouTube because I just don't have the time. But I bought a shed for woodworking, and that eventually became it's all my shipping boxes and shipping inventory stuff. And then I have one shed that's full of inventory, and then I was considering going to rent a storage unit, so I could make the one of them just a YouTube and whatnot like studio. But my wife was like, "Why don't you just take the spare bedroom where nobody ever stays over anyways?" So like all our kids are grown except for my stepdaughter. The other three kids are full grown adults. So we never use this room. So I was like, "All right, cool. That'll save me money." So I brought all my books inside and just made like a small shipping station and a photo station, and then my desk and all for YouTube videos and stuff. But yeah, I do have two 10 by 16 buildings.
If I can give you any advice, do not get a storage unit. It's not going to be fiscally responsible
Beard
to
hair.
do that.
You got beard hair.
Because I'm telling you from experience, I had a storage unit for almost 3 years. And
Yeah.
what I would do is when I would buy storage units, I would go to the storage unit, basically cherry pick all the stuff that I could just put in my car real quick and get that home, list it. Usually with that stuff that I found, I could usually make anywhere from at least my money back to 2 times just with that. And then I would
Yeah.
go usually with either a truck or sometimes I would just rent a U-Haul. But anyway, I would clear everything out of these storage units, take them to my storage unit with the intention that, hey, next few days I'm going to come and I'm going to just kind of, I'm going to rifle through it all and just see what else to sell. But it just kept piling up, piling up, piling up. And when I finally got rid of that unit because they kept raising my rent, some of those units were in there for 2 years. Think about how much I paid actually for that unit now. It just wasn't worth it to me. So keep that in mind.
Yeah, and now that you say that, on that same trip where I was playing golf with Josh, Evan Flippy McFlipperson had just told me that the company he has his storage unit at was bought by another company, and they raised the price of his unit. I want to say he said $75 more a month now, and like he's trying to figure out if he's going to move everything or what. And then yesterday or the day before, 1 Foot Flipper put out a video all about don't get a storage unit, it's dumb. And watching his video and talking with Evan, I'm glad I didn't go that route.
Yeah.
So thank you to my wife for suggesting the spare bedroom and for allowing that. That almost blew my mind. Yeah.
All right. So Minnesota City.
Yeah. Her name's Lindsay.
All right. Lindsay City.
Lindsay.
Now,
Lindsay
how
City.
how old are you, Shane?
I'll be 44 next week.
God dang,
Hey,
man.
happy birthday. Early
Thank
We
birthday.
need to,
Happy birthday.
next time, fellas, we need to get somebody on here that's older than me. I'm tired of being the elder of the room.
Well, I don't know if they could do a podcast from the elderly home. So
Yeah, you're
I think we
probably
do
right.
have somebody. I think Heather Blue Ridge Mama is older than you. Could be
Nah.
wrong, but
No, I don't think so. Hey, we
Sorry,
can get
Heather.
Ken. Ken's probably older than me.
oh yeah, Ken's 55.
Yeah, that'll work. That'll work.
Actually, I'll be seeing Ken here in the next few hours.
Yeah, Archie's going to be appearing on. What's the
that's
name
right.
of it? What's the name of it?
The Nurse Flipper.
Oh, the Nurse
do-
Flipper.
Yeah, they do a live every Tuesday. So
Yeah.
those of you that are watching this today, that was 2 days ago. But yeah, she does a live. I don't know how many people will be on it today, being Halloween, but it'll be fun. She usually gets a lot of people that watch it. People just randomly ask questions about reselling and
It's
Yeah.
a good
The
show. I
such.
like to watch it.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
Yeah.
good.
Now, Shane, saw where you bought like a crap ton of women's jeans.
Mm.
Oh, yeah. The mystery box.
Yeah. Have you sold through any of that, or have you listed it yet, or where you at on that stuff?
I've listed most of it, and I've sold one pair of jeans. I sold paid for the box, which if you guys watch my video, you know I paid 32 plus shipping for that mystery box, and it was a 30-pound box. It actually weighed a little over 30 pounds, like 32 pounds, but I think it was 32 or 33 plus shipping, which was just under $45. And the first pair of jeans I sold were the vintage Levi's, and they sold for 55 plus shipping.
I watched
So-
that video and I went to the website, but I was disappointed to see that it was, from what I could tell, it was only women's clothing.
There was those Levi's were men's, and that might have been the only men's item in there. So the person I learned about it from, she buys quite a bit there, and
Yeah.
she's gotten a handful of men's items.
Do you have the name of the website? Because it's escaped me. Do you remember
It's
the name of it?
Thread
Thread.
Up. So THRED. There's no A in Thread, but Thread Up, and it's basically an online thrift store, and they sell. I mean, you can go on there and buy like Versace and all this crazy stuff too if you got the money for it. But I personally wanted to try the mystery box just because I thought it'd be a fun way to make a video. But so the star in that video was this denim like shirt. I can't even remember the name brand now, but it was so flimsy. And like when I pulled it out of the box, I even said on video, well, this feels cheap. It's $1,000 denim shirt new in the store. And sold comps for that thing were anywhere from between 300 and like 800 used.
Wow.
What do you
Did
have
get
it
it?
listed?
You got watchers on that thing already?
I've had quite a few watchers. I have mine listed like right in the middle there because it wasn't the exact same as the highest one sold. It wasn't the exact same as the lowest one sold. So I threw it up there for 500 or best offer. So we'll just wait and see what happens. But I couldn't believe it. It's made in New York City is where it comes from. And I guess the designer's name, Eskandar. That's it, Eskandar. Because I thought I was like, man, that's very Viking sounding Nordic. But
Pace
yeah,
Picante. You
Eskandar.
seen that commercial? Made in New York City?
Yeah.
New York.
New York.
Now, Shane, let me ask you this: if you had it to do again, would you buy another one of those boxes?
I probably would. I watch quite a few videos of other people opening those boxes, and for the most part, there's money to be made in there. But I have seen a few boxes where I'm like, man, I hope I never get that box because It's not worth it because they call them DIY boxes, and it's because there's a high possibility that some of the items in those boxes are going to have, pretty bad stains or rips or whatever. So like a couple of the shorts that I had in there were actually cut off from regular jeans. So they consider them DIY for people that want to like make stuff out of them or whatever.
But you're more than likely not going to get anything new with tags when you buy these boxes.
Not in these DIY boxes. I don't know. I can't speak for the other boxes they have because they do like handbags and shoes and all that kind of stuff. But it is a thrift store, so I'm assuming most of it that's new with tags probably gets pulled and sold online, and then the boxes get filled up with only used items, I would imagine.
Now, with all the plugging you've been doing for this website, have they sponsored your channel yet? Because you could do like a Soda City 10% off.
No, they haven't. But I mean, I've only done one video, so.
Did you let them know that you know Harry McFlipperson by chance?
No, I didn't name drop.
Dang.
So you like listing clothes then? You enjoy selling clothes? Because I can't stand listing clothes.
I don't.
I love it.
I don't necessarily enjoy it, but what happened was I got a ton of free clothing, like bags and bags and bags of free clothing, and there was a lot of bread and butter brands in there, like Lucky Brand and American Eagle and stuff like that. And I was like, it's free. I'm not gonna let it go to waste. If it's good, if it's clean, I should say, I'll list it. And if it's not, if the simple washer and dryer doesn't fix it, then I'll just redonate the stuff. But I've sold a ton. And then if I'm at the thrift store, I'll pick up stuff that I know will sell, like Patagonia and things like that.
Yeah, man.
Alex, I got to tell you, I used to hate listing clothing too, but
it's easy.
I think a few episodes back, I was telling you guys about a drafting table that I purchased. And I'm telling you, that has made a huge difference for me as far as listing clothing. Because as a matter of fact, that's one of the things I'm going to talk about today when we talk about our sell of the week. But I'm able to put that at any angle I want. And it's not completely where I want it to be yet, because I'm actually going to make it so that table is for regular listing items. And then I can change it to just do clothing. But that's made a huge difference in wanting to list more clothing.
Yeah, I'm working.
And I made my own.
That's all I have is.
I made my own little listing station for clothing, just using a 4x4 sheet of 1/2-inch plywood and some cheap cloth I bought at Walmart.
Yeah.
I have a ton of clothes to list.
I sell
now,
quite a bit of
thing
clothes.
I will tell you, Alex, if you're going to start doing it and you haven't already, buy a yardstick. People are going to ask questions about length and width. So what I started doing is when I'm taking photos, I throw the yardstick up there, take a photo length, photo width, and I don't get questions anymore.
Yeah, no, I've sold clothes in the past. Like years ago, I sold a ton of clothes because I got them for free, and they all sold on Poshmark. I did the best on Poshmark with clothing. But I have a question. I think I already know the answer, Shane. Is your favorite thing to source? And I think it's big China sets from watching your videos. That's what you like to do. And planning on niching down to all China sets eventually.
Yeah, China brings in the big bucks. So anybody who's watching my videos knows that I bought 3 stupid China sets when I first got into this because they were so cheap. I bought them from a lady at the flea market, and I got them for nothing, man, next to nothing. And there's a ton of money to be made there, but this was before I understood how shipping worked and how much packing material was going to have to go into that. And, so there's not as much money to be made in China as I thought. But I did meet a guy. Well, I shouldn't say I met him. He works for my company, and he's a reseller as well. Him and his wife live about 2 hours kind of northeast of me, and they do sell China, but they sell it to a place in Greensboro, North Carolina. And that place, I guess, does like replacement sales or something. So they'll sell off one piece at a time.
Yeah, that'd be a lot easier to ship.
He's going to come get all of my china and go sell it to them for me. And then next time I see him, he'll just give me the money. But so I'm going to dump it all off on one person.
I made that mistake and picked up a whole bunch of these Kentucky glasses, which are cool and they have good sold comps, but I haven't listed them and they're just gonna be a pain to ship. You know, I'm gonna lot them together for like $50, but I kicked myself once I left the sale. I'm like, why did I pick these up? But I can't leave anything behind if there's profit, you know?
Yeah.
Can't say no.
FOMO.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right. Well, what's the name of that Thread Up?
Yep, Thread Up.
Thread Up. Go check that out if you're watching or listening here. And who knows, you might strike it into some profit when you get a mystery box. Let's talk about, have any of you guys been picking any in the last week since the last show? Let's talk about your pick of the week. Anybody got one?
It's right here. This is what I've been using this week.
Destiny.
Guitar
pick
pick.
of Destiny.
Yeah.
Pick of the week. I don't know. You guys have something.
Hey, is that my guitar pick, sir?
Would you sign it?
I'll sign it for you.
I'll give it back if you show the biscuits. Buttery biscuits.
Go ahead and keep it, young man.
Biscuits.
You loving the biscuits? Taste the biscuit.
The biscuits.
All right. Well, if y'all ain't got anything, I mean, crap. What do y'all do during the week? Y'all don't do anything? I got this.
Listening. I'm working on my digital death pile. I listed
Look
my
here.
10 and I have another 10. That's cool.
This,
Ooh.
you know, in the South, it's known as Shoney's, but in other places of the country, it's called a Big Boys or Bob's Big Boy.
Yep,
So
Bob's Big Boy.
pick this up for $3. This is vintage, fellas. This is the year I was born, 1973. Of course, you know,
about 4 years before my demise.
Yeah. And it's a coin. It's all rubber. It's a coin bank. Got the coin slot back here. Of course, you know, right now there's a ton of these available on eBay. So, but there's still a little profit in it. I got it because it was 1973, and I've not really had to do a lot of picking, to be honest with you, because I've been jumping into my death pile from when I went to 127. If you've watched any of my videos on my channel, I packed a box trailer full of stuff that 5 days I was out picking. And I'm just now sorting and cherry picking through it and getting caught up with that.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I used to like going to Big Boy Bubba's or whatever that place is called to get my peanut butter and banana sandwich.
Bob's Big Boy.
I think mine would have to be golf clubs. I found some tailor-made irons and some Callaway woods that should do pretty well.
Yeah, man. You know, the golf club covers I bought back in May, they're still selling, man. Of course, I still have about 300 and some left to list, but I just sold one here less than an hour ago. So
nice.
Yeah, that was
How much you in the profit on those?
Shoot, I've got to look it up, but I know for a fact, as I wrote it down and I was tracking it when I first started selling them, the first 19 I sold, I made my investment money back.
Wow.
So
how many total were there?
536.
Wow.
Yeah,
that was a good buy.
Yeah, I loved it. Yeah. Now I've not run anything across that the rest of the year since that buy, but man, you can get, a blind squirrel can find a nut every once in a while. And when you do, you better pull the trigger.
That's right.
Yeah, this blind squirrel almost got 13,000 classical music CDs.
Yeah.
I'm still, mad about that.
Shane, do you know the story behind that?
I do. I heard you guys talking about that a few episodes ago.
Dude, he called me. He called me up, Ben. I'm going to need you to talk me off the ledge on this. And when he calls me to try to counteract anything he's going to think about doing, and I give it my best shot, right? And he's still, he's still like, well, he's still going to do what he wants to anyway, so it doesn't even matter. So he's like, talk me off the ledge here. And I said, well, classical music, dude's the armpit in music genres. I mean, that crap's hard to move. I mean, there's not a huge population of classical music fans.
Talk me off the ledge.
I do think Archie had the right idea though in lotting them up. If he was going to get them and sell them, lot them up and
Well,
shoot them out that way.
the money would have been in the storage cases. There's where your money
Right.
was.
I don't think so now. I'm starting to
Oh,
think that they would have definitely been in, because I don't think those would have sold as fast as doing auctions for those CDs.
yeah.
But
Well,
the thing is when I say talk me off a ledge, it really means tell me what a genius I am.
I got
That's
my find
about
of
the
the
gist
week.
of it. I'm serious. That's about how it goes in our
Going through my
conversation.
clothes, I found
It
my
was.
find of the week, and it's just a shirt right here. Sold comp
Slayer.
144
Nice.
vintage.
Wow.
Yeah, that's an awesome shirt.
Yeah.
So that's my find of my own clothes. They were
What
just
you
packed
got,
in-
Art?
This is a Shaq Invicta watch, practically brand new. Probably get about $350 for it.
Who'd you steal that
Nice.
from?
How long has that
Still.
been sitting in the pile?
It's our find of the week.
Yeah. You had to go out to the garage and find it. How long has it been sitting out there?
It'll be listed this week.
Okay, good. That's
Starting
a
next
plus, man.
week.
Crap.
Was that from a storage unit, or where'd you find that at?
No, that was just off of a buy from somebody when I bought a whole bunch of stuff off them. I probably paid like $50 for that. I mean, it was a bundle deal.
All
Just
right.
some crackhead that needed money. Probably
Let's talk
stolen.
about
I got
the
some
sale.
good albums
Your,
that way.
your sale of the week. Who wants to talk about
I
their
got-
sale?
I got a good sale of the week. I sold the Harry Potter, and it's a chest set where all the Harry Potter books come in a big old chest. They were
Yeah.
first American pressing, and I listed it for $100, and I took an offer, sold in 2 days for $90
Sweet.
for all the Harry Potter books.
Sweet. That's
So,
good.
I needed that one.
My sale is a Dale Earnhardt single stitch, double hit, double sided shirt that I picked up at the 127 sale for, golly, I think it was $3 or $4, I believe. It sold for $47.10.
Wow.
Nice.
So yeah, vintage clothes, guys. I know it might be a pain to do them, but they're plentiful. You can get them cheap. And like Shane was saying earlier, you lay the yardstick down in the photos, but I go a little step further. I always put the measurements pit to pit,
Yeah.
top of the shirt to the bottom of the shirt. I put that in the description too, just so they can't misinterpret. And if they don't know how to read a measuring tape,
Right.
you know, I've got it in the description, you know, because people will find any reason to screw you over when they buy an item from you. And I've got one that happened.
Oh, yeah. Let's hear
And I
that.
told Alex about this. I put it in chat, our little chat.
Well,
So
Shane, do you have a sale before he gets into his rant here?
yeah, because I'm
Stay
yeah,
on topic. He's gonna go for like an hour about whatever happened to him.
I was just looking off camera at my phone to see which of my sales this week were the best.
yeah. I could tell
and
Shane was scrambling. He didn't know we were going to do this. Apparently, he was scrambling on his phone to try to find something.
Well, no, I had to see which one was the most because I want to give you the best sale I had. But it was, you guys, have you ever seen the vintage table lighters?
Table lighters. What is that? Like
It's
a
like
lighter?
a cigarette lighter, but
Okay.
they're from like the 50s or something, maybe even earlier. I didn't do a whole lot of research. I found exact comps for the one I had, and I listed it, and it sold for $49.99 plus shipping. But it's just a little. It's
You have a
made by
picture you can
Rockman.
put up.
Yeah, let's see.
Let's see it.
Just send it to Archie and make him edit more. We'll put it over his butt. When he shows his butt, we'll show you
Yeah.
your sale of the week.
There we
Yeah,
go.
there-
Wow.
Is that
I've
focused?
never seen anything like that, man.
I've never seen that. That looks like, well, I can't even say what it looks like, but
Wow, where'd you pick that up at?
So there was a friend of a friend. Basically, her father had passed away, and they were getting ready to do an estate sale for the house. And I got invited to do a private pick because my friend knew that this was going on, and she reached out to them and said, "Hey, I've got a friend who might be interested in coming to look at all this stuff." And I only spent $20, and I picked up a ton of stuff. That they let me pick through. And I didn't know anything about checking comps whenever I first went to this house. I was brand new, but that lighter just stood out. The design, it was like porcelain enamel or something, on there with the cherry blossom painting, and it was dirty brass. I did clean it up. I looked up a YouTube video on how to clean brass, and that thing turned out to be immaculate. But I paid $20 for a good sized box full of little small items like that, and I've sold most of it. But that lighter I've had since like March, and I've had a lot of low ball offers on it, but I knew eventually it would sell for asking price. So I just stuck to my guns and left it sitting there, and it sold this week.
That's awesome.
But it's made by Ronson, and it's that particular one, the black with the white cherry blossoms painted on it, is called the Leona lighter.
Oh,
The Leona lighter.
I've never seen anything like that.
That thing's heavy, man. And it's only like that big.
Is it still functionable?
That I don't know. It's still got like the smell of fluid, like lighter fluid or whatever to it. But I didn't go out and buy Flint. I sold it as is.
You made sure to put that in the description that you didn't test it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, what about you, Archie?
I purchased for $3, and this was back at a garage sale in the summertime, but a suede San Diego Chargers jacket. So I guess it would have been San Diego, not LA now, but it was just a suede Letterman jacket. Got it for $3, sold for 50. Plus,
Nice.
Yeah. That's a good flip. The golf clap.
Yeah.
Shane should be an expert at the golf clap. Come on.
All right.
How much did your book sell for, Alex?
I sold a book set for $90.
Okay, so Alex definitely had the better sale, but the rest of us had $50 sales, which is nice.
Well, I'm glad I'm the winner. I should get my trophy in the mail anytime.
That's
right?
why you're wearing the crown, bro.
Okay, I got to send you my wrestling autographed T-shirt, my WCW.
I'm waiting for so many things that you keep promising me, Ben. And you just,
well, you just.
I cry every day when I go check my mail and it's not there.
Just keep me on a tab. I'm building a tab. I'll just send it all bulk shipping
I'm
deal.
Drive to your house. I got your address from Whatnot. I'm coming to your house.
Yeah. All right. So let me tell you about this. I'm getting ready to get on the soapbox in the buyer business. You know what I'm saying? So I sold this Lionel train car, okay? And took all my pictures, 5 or 6 photos, done it on there, and then sold it. And then 2 weeks went by, and then I get a negative feedback from this off. And anyway, he said that he
Let's make sure we don't threaten lives.
He messaged me. Okay. He says, this train car didn't come with a box. I said, it most certainly did. How do you think I got it to you? It came in a box.
The label right on the track.
And he left me this negative review saying that it didn't come with the box and the seller didn't give an opportunity to make things right. And by the way, the box was crushed. So I get back on there after I stew on that. Huh?
Wait, I thought it came with no box. How's the box crushed?
Is he talking about the box, like the official box it was a track, right?
In the pictures, there's nothing but the box car. No box with it. Okay. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah.
So it's just loose.
Shipped it in a box.
But I shipped it in a box. So you got it in a box. That's what I said.
But that
was probably a smart hind-end move to make, but I said it anyway because I was annoyed. So after stewing on this for a while, I went back and I replied to the feedback. I said, well, like with any item in my store, every item has a 30-day money-back guarantee. The buyer failed to open a return and to ship it back so that they could receive a full refund for said item. And then I put, and FYI to all buyers, sellers are not responsible for the mishandling of packages. via UPS or any other shipping company. And that's what I gave back in my feedback response. So why do I have to give a personal invitation to a buyer to send an item back when they know if they open their freaking eyes and read that it's a 30-day money back guarantee? He could have opened the return. I would have gladly gave his money back. But what does he got to do? He's got to slam me into the wall saying that I did not seem to give him an opportunity to resolve the situation when the situation was ready to be resolved at the moment he purchased the item.
Look, here's what it boils down to. First off, he gave you feedback. So he already knew that he could give you feedback. He knows that he can give you a return, that he can put in a return. He's obviously doing it because of extortion. He wants money back, or he wants you to give a portion of the money back. Simple. Yeah. He's playing a game.
Well, I'm not playing a game. And
yeah, don't worry about the feedback. Who cares about it? What is that? Is it one? Is that the only negative feedback you have?
Yep.
You replied to it, left it at that. I probably wouldn't have put in the last thing that you said, but I think what you said in the beginning was perfect.
Get you. Yeah, they shouldn't have done that.
There is
I have your address.
No care in this eyeball about putting in there about shipping. We're not. How can we be held accountable, gentlemen, for damaged packages that we don't even touch?
No. You're right, but it's just the last thing you put just seemed like you were lecturing all the potential buyers.
Well, that's fine. That's fine. How many times have you got somebody saying,
"How are your sales this week? How are your sales since you made that comment?"
Well, I've sold
it's not
things today.
It won't affect him at all.
But how many times do you get frustrated that you get a message from a buyer saying that this item's damaged and they blame you for it when we have no control?
Yep. That's what I'm dealing with right now on a chargeback.
I got my
I've only had that happen twice. One was a coffee mug, and it was all my fault. I didn't pack it well enough, so obviously I gave a refund immediately. The second time, have you guys ever seen what's that movie with
Ernest Goes to Camp?
No, but good. That's a good one.
Toxic Avenger.
American History X. When Edward
Norton that one.
Herb stomps that dude's face in. That's what it looked like somebody did to this box. It was I think it was a Sony receiver, and I sold it for like $125 plus shipping, and sent it via UPS. And when the guy got the package, he sent me the pictures before it was opened and everything. And I mean, it looked like the truck ran over it. And it had a note from UPS saying, "Hey, we damaged your package." So obviously I was able to get, I refunded the buyer myself. Yeah. And then I just reached out to UPS. If there was a lot of back and forth with them saying eBay was responsible, which I thought was weird. But in the end, they ended up cutting me a check and sending me the money to replace it. But
now I wonder how often that gets solved that way, where you actually get a check back, and where eBay comes into play. Where the frick did that come from? They don't have anything.
Yeah, I don't know. They literally told me. Sorry, my dog's trying to come in. They literally told me that because I bought the shipping label through eBay,
that's not accurate.
That it's eBay's account. So eBay's responsible for sending me a check, and I was like, "No, that doesn't make sense." Yep. But anyways, we got to figure it out.
That's useless as tits on a boar hog, man.
Exactly. I think the only thing that saved me was the fact that the driver
That's a redneck
on the box.
That was
the driver put something on the box, like a little sticky note from UPS, and it said, "Hey, sorry, we damaged your package." So I think that's what saved.
I hate when that.
Why don't they already just take the due diligence and just say, "Hey, we already know we messed up. We're putting the sticker on." They should have already started it. Any decent company.
Yeah. All right. Here's my tip. Here's the tip of the week from the reseller locker room. Ladies and gentlemen, get out your pens and paper and take this note. Go online or your local office supply business, get a rubber stamp made that says If you bought this item, the seller is not responsible for the mishandling of this package. And stamp it on every box you send out, baby, because I'm tired of taking the rap for a bunch of no good blood sucking fiends that tried to scam us every time we turn around. Amen and hallelujah. I'm done.
You know what's going to happen? Some USPS or whatever carrier you're using is going to be like, yeah, we'll see about that.
Ugh.
Off the tarmac.
Yeah. All right. Where'd Alex go?
I think he's reading a goodnight book to his babies. I don't know.
I don't know where this got started. This got started somewhere, Archie. I think you told me one time, but I wanted to do a segment called "You Know If You're a Reseller If." Okay. So if you need to think of something, y'all go ahead and think, but I've got one. You know you're a reseller if you get excited when you go to Walmart and walk down the storage bin aisle. Pretty good, huh?
You know you're a reseller if before you look up a comp, you go like this.
See if anybody's looking at you. That's a good one.
You know, if you're a book reseller, when you go to your friend's house, you scan all their books.
That's good. That's good, man.
That's actually very true. And as a fellow book reseller, I feel you 100% there.
You got one, Shane?
Not really. Kind of put me on the spot, and I haven't been doing this long enough to know any funny puns and jokes.
Okay.
He'll think of them later. He'll text us later.
Yeah, I'll text you.
Say how long you've been?
Oh, by the way, Shane said this.
Yeah. Alex asked you, Shane, how long have you been reselling? Actually,
I just started this year in January.
Nice.
Okay.
So, January. I got approved on Whatnot in January. I tried in December, and they denied me because I didn't have enough inventory.
Yeah.
Or a social media following. So I sold my camera, bought $1,000 worth of books, and they were happy with that.
I could have sent you a picture. You could have sent my books.
Now, could you not have used like I don't know, Harry Tornado's Whatnot link as a referral and would have got shoot in?
And I didn't know about him at the time.
Oh, okay.
So I didn't know any other resellers other than the people I watched on Whatnot that were selling books.
Okay. Gotcha.
So I had no idea who any of those people were at the time.
Are you just on Whatnot and eBay right now, or you cross promote any other platforms?
No, I'm only on the two platforms now. I tried Mercari out through List Perfectly, and no offense to List Perfectly, but I was not making enough money
to make it
on Mercari to justify the monthly cost of List Perfectly. So I just shut it all down to get all together.
Yeah. That's why I don't have across one of those programs. It doesn't make sense because I sell a thing on Mercari every once a month, maybe.
Yeah.
A toy. Like
I get that.
I sold a plushie for like $6.
I listed a bunch of vintage New York Jets and New York Mets clothing, t-shirts that I found. So t-shirts at my Goodwill $1.50 each, and these shirts were comping from $50 and up. And I listed a bunch of them on Mercari, and I sold 6 of those like to the same buyer back to back to back. I never sold another thing on Mercari. So I was like, all right, this is not worth it anymore.
At your Goodwill bins, it's per piece. They don't go by weight.
No, this is just a regular Goodwill, retail Goodwill.
Oh, okay.
The bins location is it's probably about a 35-minute drive from me, from where I live, from where I work. If I was able to go, it'd only take me about 20 minutes to get there. But it's $1.89 a pound on regular days.
What about books? They have like a good amount of books over there?
They do have quite a bit. And there's a ton of people there looking at books. I'm assuming they're Amazon sellers. I'm not sure. I don't really talk to very many people in there.
Probably.
The book bros.
Yeah, bros. Exactly.
Yeah, if you were to be able to transition to full time, would the bins, probably play a huge role in your business, or do you prefer going thrifting and yard selling over the bins and thrift stores? Or
yard sales are my favorite. but I would definitely hit up the bins pretty often. I might have to trip Josh and Haley up going through the door, slow them down a little bit. But I enjoy going there. I just don't get to do it very often because of work schedule.
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you.
Wednesdays are a half price day, and I can't get there on a Wednesday.
Well, let me ask you this, Shane. Have you ever sourced off of Whatnot?
Yeah, not very often, but like I mentioned earlier, that I bought a Sex Pistols hat. It's new with tags. I got it on Whatnot. I've bought some really nice Pearl Snap Wrangler Aztec design shirts that I have listed on my eBay store. I picked them up for just a few bucks each. If you get in the right show, you can get some good deals.
And if they'll do a bundle deal,
Yep.
you just have them set it aside and make a pile.
Exactly.
That's what I've said, in many shows on here is if you find those smaller shows that maybe haven't been around long enough or they don't have a huge bidding audience, you can really get in there and tell them what you're doing. With Rocky Top Picker, they can guess what I do.
Right.
And they go, man, if you're a reseller, I'll make you some deals. Well, I'll take advantage of that, man. I mean, these clothing buys, this vintage shirts and stuff, man, I'll load up 15 or 20 shirts. And when I get this big, 13 by 12 by whatever, the priority mailbox full of shirts, man, I've made a killing off of that.
I'm going to start sourcing books on Shane's Whatnot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have enough followers to give you too much competition, but I just sorts. I don't know if you guys follow J Rod Flips at all.
Yeah.
But he just had his first Whatnot show, and I made sure I was there because he's got a lot of YouTube followers and TikTok followers. He don't have very many Whatnot followers. He had less than 60 when I followed him, and I got some killer deals on a lot of stuff.
Yeah, when I was in there, there was only like 7 people in there.
Here. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, Shane, go ahead.
I was just going to say when I did I've only done one Whatnot, and I wound up getting about 12 people signed up from that. So I got $120, and I'll tell you what, that $120 went a long way for me to source.
Yeah. My problem is I can get people to click on my link and sign up, but then they don't ever spend the freaking money, so I'm not getting my cut.
You got to encourage them.
It says, so many people have used your link and signed up, and then you click on it, and not a single one of them have actually used it yet. So I'm not getting any return for that yet. But I did get my first My Reseller Genie kickback, which was cool. I don't know if you guys used them, but I was pretty happy about that. That's the first time I've made a little money off of something else.
That's for taxes though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't pay taxes.
I tried that. Taxes. Yeah. I tried the Reseller Genie. I just thought, man, there's just too many moving wheels in this thing. So I just ended up canceling it. And then, of course, me and Alex, we don't believe in taxes. So,
yeah.
We could actually get in trouble for that, Alex. We might get in trouble for saying that. But anyway,
Shane, I'm going to taxes. I just give money away.
Yeah. We just overpay every time. Shane, I'm going to put you on the spot again. Keeping in mind whose company you're now keeping. Who is your favorite YouTuber?
I'm going to be honest, and I've said this in one of my videos. I made my top 5 favorite YouTube resellers, but it's Evan Flippy McFlipperson.
So
the reason,
who he doesn't like, we'll make the list finally. So do a video and say the worst resellers, and then we can make the list.
Wait a minute, fellas. Maybe we made the top 10. So Shane, name your top. Name your top 10.
In the top 10 for sure.
Wait, should Evan be happy about this though? Because you just came out with a video saying why you're a bad reseller, and then you're saying he's the one that you actually watch.
Well, yeah,
Evan,
but
rethink your friends, Evan.
Yeah, we're gonna send him our condolences.
I said in my video that I watch Evan. So first off, Evan was the first YouTube reseller that I've subscribed to. He wasn't the first channel I found. I'd found Texas Gal Treasures first. But then I found Evans, and I don't know, he's just got a personality that I liked, and he used to do this this show, or not really a show. He used to make a video every now and then called Destination Thrift, where he would visit a new town and go thrifting. He would take his kids or his wife or whatever, and those videos were awesome. So I just really enjoyed them. But I discovered he was local, and I would reach out to him about reselling questions, YouTube questions, and he's always answered me. He's never like ignored me or whatever. A lot of these bigger YouTubers, especially, not necessarily resellers, but a lot of the bigger YouTubers, they're just like real short answers and don't really care if they're helping you out or not, you know? So
You're here.
Evan had gone out of his way to be a huge help to me, and that's why he's my favorite. I don't learn nearly as much from him as I do other people, but his content is just more entertaining as well. So, but yeah, you guys are definitely in the top. Biscuit Butt, by the way, Archie's parody video today, still my favorite, my favorite video from anybody.
Yeah, that was classic.
I absolutely love that thing.
Yeah,
I just wish more people liked it.
I couldn't believe it didn't blow up.
Yeah,
like I thought it would.
That's
Archie,
okay though.
You know, for 2023, Archie, that should be your video of the year. That one, that episode. Yeah, dude.
That thing was
great.
absolutely hilarious, man. I loved every second of that video.
Yeah, we got Alex drinking his commemorative tea jug. By the way, if you're watching this and you haven't subscribed, we have a contest going right now. For every 100 subscribers that we gain right here in the locker room, there will be a drawing for a locker room prize pack, one of which is a $25 gift card to eBay, Archie's Elvis wig, and a picture of him in his Elvis costume, and some locker room
the backside.
And you will get a tea jug signed by the Bearded King Picker. So, oh, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Check it out. Yes, you're going to get an 8x10. You're going to get an 8x10 picture of Archie's backside in his Elvis costume, signed by Biscuit Butt, Elvis Butt, right there. But if
a little biscuit sweat.
Yeah. So if you've not subbed to this channel, we invite you, please. We need some help over here. Please do so. Your name will be entered into the drawing. So for every 100 subscribers we reach, we will be doing this giveaway every time. So be sure you hit the like button down below. You also hit the sub button. But anyway, guys, we've gone about an hour and 12 minutes. And does anybody want to say anything before we close things out here?
I just want to say, if you do make the video and send it, this is proof that we will eventually get you on the show. It might take us half a year, but it will happen. So make those videos, send them in, tag us in the videos, and subscribe to my channel. Yeah. And this
I just want to say, if you're lonesome tonight, just watch our YouTube channels and subscribe.
Yeah.
That's all good. That was pretty good.
That is pretty good. But anyway, fellas, guys, we want to we want to thank Shane Soda City Flips for coming on the locker room today down in South Carolina. It's good to have neighbors this close. Be sure to go to his YouTube channel, hit like and subscribe. Go back, watch all his videos. There's something you can pick up from it, as well as all of our videos on YouTube. Rocky Top Picker, Biscuit Butt, Beard King Picker, all on YouTube. Go back and give us a like and a sub if you've not done so. And by the way, sub to this channel and be watching all of us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and all those popular places. And anything else you'd like to add, Shane, before we go?
No, just thank you guys so much for having me on. It's been a blast, and hopefully we can do it again soon.
All right, guys.
He's close to 1,000. Go subscribe to him.
That's right. Go down and sub to Soda City so he can hit that 1,000 mark. Absolutely. I'm Ben, Rocky Top Picker, and on behalf of all the guys here in the locker room, peace and love, and we're going to see you next time.